name is Blake Berry. I'm the agricultural education instructor and FFA advisor at Pendleton High School.
Tell me what we've got here today at the State Agricultural Museum.
We have a timeline of our Pendleton FFA chapter that began roughly around 1927, April of 1927, and extends until the present. And we're coming up on almost a century of history for our organization. So it's wonderful to see that the South Carolina Agricultural History Museum has put this together for us.
And for people who might not be familiar with FFA, tell us what's involved in.
Well, the FFA is a student-led organization. It reaches across the entire country. Every state has an FFA state association and multiple chapter associations. There's about 800,000 FFA members nationwide. They accompany every aspect of high school, from rural to urban to suburban, and there's all types of leadership opportunities in the organization.
And how many are involved in Pendleton?
We have about 130 students this year. We're up a little bit from last year.
And can you give some idea what kind of local things they might be involved in, or what they would do as being a part of this group here?
Well, we do a lot at the high school, at Pendleton High School. We do everything from competitions in leadership and agricultural knowledge. The students develop their own home projects. We're able to go to different types of leadership events and workshops throughout the state and even the nation. The students are always busy organizing different events that we hold at the school and that we hold for our community. A couple of our events that we host is our annual Farm City Day, which all the students come in, all the FFA members come in and produce projects and bring in their animals. And then our elementary school and our other high school students come in and they actually get to learn a little bit about what the FFA members do on a daily basis.
And how long have you been involved in this?
I've been involved in FFA since 1998, so a long time. But I've been teaching at the high school for 11 years. I also have a co-teacher there, Miss Katie Gilson. She teaches at the high school, and she's also the advisor at Riverside Middle School, where she's also the ag teacher and FFA advisor. And Riverside is of course, our middle school for the high school.
And what do you hope this exhibit will help do? I mean, what's the purpose of this exhibit? I know you're talking about to celebrate the almost anniversary kind of thing, but what do you hope people will be able to learn from this?
Well, like I said, the FFA is a student-led organization, which means when those students graduate, many of them stay in the community. Many of them are still operating family farms. And a lot of these people you see behind us here are community members. And one of my goals is some of these folks can come in. You know, some of them have been FFA members 40, 50, 30, 20 years ago. I hope it will bring a sense of community to our area, and maybe it'll, kind of be a reunion for some. Maybe it'll help stoke the fires of memory and the passion that they had for FFA when they were in high school.
And how long did it take to pull all this together?
Not too long, because I'd cataloged a lot of this historical information beforehand, and when Jordan of the museum and Josh of the museum reached out to me, it was just really a matter of a month or two.
What else you want to tell people about this? I didn't ask you. Anything else you want to say about FFA or the exhibit or anything?
Well, the FFA, even though it's a century old, almost a century, in 1928 it'll be 100 years old. It's changed a lot in terms of how its members look over the years, but still the ideals and the principles and the morals that it was founded on is still really important, and especially in this ever-changing society that we live in, it's good for students on the high school level to have something that gives them direction, especially a positive direction. And that's why I think the FFA is one of the most valuable organizations that public school can have.
Hey, I'm Callie Simpson, and I am the president of the Pendleton FFA chapter this year.
And how long have you been involved in FFA?
I have been involved in FFA since my 7th grade year in middle school, so I'm going on my 4th or 5th year.
And what have you learned? What have you gotten from being a part of this group?
I've learned a lot about leadership, communication, public speaking, and stepping out of my comfort zone and doing stuff I'm not necessarily comfortable with, such as this interview, and it's something that I can now do without completely being a train wreck.
And this exhibit, have you learned anything from looking at this historical exhibit?
I have. I actually got to see a photo of the advisor that taught my mother when she was in the FFA. I've learned a lot about our history and certain people that were in the FFA and different things we've done in the past.
I'm Sierra Stone from the Pendleton FFA chapter, and I am this year's reporter.
And what got you involved in the FFA?
I've always kind of had a passion for nature and animals, so it kind of just fell right in.
And what's your favorite part of being in this group?
My favorite part of being in this group is furthering my agricultural education and just getting a lot of new opportunities and getting to develop my skills more.
And what do you hope to do next?
Next, I hope to pursue an agricultural career and just kind of see where that goes.
And have you been to this museum before?
Actually, this is my first time.
Oh, okay. And what did you learn from this exhibit? Did you learn anything from this exhibit, y'all pulling it together?
From this exhibit, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about the history of not only our chapter, but the FFA as a whole.
My name is Eric Wilson. I was the chapter president of the Pendleton FFA chapter in 2013 and 2014.
And what are you doing now with FFA?
I currently teach at Belton Honeopath High School, where I'm the ag teacher and the FFA advisor.
So obviously FFA has had a big influence on your life. How did you get involved in it, and why is it so important to you?
I got involved in it. I took agriculture as a 10th grader. At the time, I thought I wanted to be a wildlife biologist, work for the Department of Natural Resources when I grew up. And throughout my time with the FFA, I ended up being a teacher assistant for a couple of years, getting to work with some of the younger students. And I realized through being able to mentor them that I myself wanted to teach.
Is there an education component that you're having to do, like at Belton Honeopath, to teach people what y'all do to get people involved, or they just sort of know and join, or how does that work?
We try to reach them, as young as possible. We actually have a middle school program at our district as well. And so we'll recruit those young people, and we'll get the officers involved and try to share the opportunities that those young people might have in the organization.
And this exhibit here today, is this important to you to see the continual generational thing going on?
Oh, absolutely. As Mr. Berry said, that we have a strong legacy at the Pendleton FFA chapter. It's one of the oldest chapters in the state. And it's great to see that continuing on and see that the organization stays strong and there's continues to be passion among young people for agriculture.
I'm Caroline Gilmer. I was president of the Pendleton FFA chapter from 2017 to 2018.
And how did that influence what you've done with your life since then?
Heavily. I dove into the FFA chapter from freshman year and was super involved in competitions and any event we held or conferences we went to. And through all of that, I ended up actually finding my passion for soil, which is odd in a smaller field, but there's so much to learn with soil. And so now I am pursuing a degree in soil science at Clemson, and I plan to then work for the Natural Resources Conservation Service as a soil scientist and work on a graduate degree at the same time.
So if there are some parents, grandparents, students that might see this video and have not really considered FFA, what would you tell them for the students that might be considering it?
I would say whether you are from an agricultural background or not, it is something to definitely get involved with just for all of the leadership opportunities and for the network. I was able to learn a lot about different colleges while I was here at an FFA, and I was able to learn more about all the different career fields within agriculture, which doesn't necessarily mean just farming.
I am Katie Olson. I am the agriculture educator at Pendleton High School and Riverside Middle and FFA advisor at both chapters.
The kids in middle school coming in, do the ones that join already know about FFA, or do you have to kind of bring them up to speed? How do y'all recruit kids for FFA?
To recruit kids for FFA, we do different activities. We take a bunch of pictures, we do a slideshow, and so incoming 6th graders, because our 6th graders are still at the elementary school, we do a open house event where we show what activities we do in the agriculture program, and there I do a picture slideshow to just give them an idea of what FFA is all about. And yeah.
Did you grow up on a farm?
Yes, sir. I grew up on a small farm. My father had beef cattle, rabbits, chickens, and peaches.
So how early did you get involved with FFA?
I actually was not in FFA when I was in school. I didn't know anything about this great organization. I got involved when I was getting my graduate degree through Tom Dobbins, and I actually student taught at Pendleton High School in 2011.
I know Tom. How important is it, do you think, for the future of agriculture and like you mentioned, soil science and some of the other things for FFA to continue to survive and to do well?
This is a great organization. It opens many opportunities to different students, from public speaking to electricity work to working with their hands to animal science to plant science. The vast opportunities in this organization are great, and it opens up students to get out of their comfort zone and experience new things that wouldn't be possible for them if it wasn't for the FFA.
I'm Josh Johnson. I'm the museum site coordinator here at the Bart Garrison Agricultural Museum of South Carolina.
And tell me about this exhibit that we're opening today here.
This exhibit really pulled itself together with the help of Blake and Jordan. This is all about the history of the FFA, not only here in Pendleton, but here in the state. Agricultural education has been important in South Carolina for more than a century. And we wanted to highlight contributions made by the Pendleton chapter, by the FFA in the state, and by our educators statewide.
How important has FFA been, in particularly in the last 100 years, for agriculture in South Carolina?
It's been massively important. FFA students have led the way in soil science, in studying crops, in dealing with various pest animals like the boll weevil, which nearly eradicated cotton here in South Carolina. They led massive drives during World War II for scrap metal, plastic, rubber, leading the way on things like victory gardens. So they've always been important to agriculture here in the state. The museum, we were established in 2013. We're the State Agriculture Museum. We cover everything from Native American agriculture here all the way up to field drones and things that are happening in the modern day.
And tell people what they can expect if they come here, and what will they see here at this museum?
The museum is full of things. If it looks like you can touch it, you can touch it. We have lots of antique farm implements, tractors, live animals, gardens in the back, and things like this.
And tell them what hours you're open.
We are open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
And how did you get involved in this?
This is actually my second or third month here. I started in July. Previous to this, I worked for the museums in Anderson and Seneca. The job came open, I applied, and I got it. And I'm thrilled to be working for this institution.
Now, do you have an agricultural background?
I do not.
So you're learning a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.